Teamwork making the dream work. As if this could ever hold her. Take what you want, but bring her to me.
What is good, everyone? Welcome back to Blacklist. My name is Alex, and today we have episode 4 of my Need for Speed Unbound lockdown walkthrough. Of course, last time we qualified with S-Class cars, so we went in with an A-plus car with the Razor Mustang. It looked pretty cool. You guys seem to really like that as well, and it meant that we survived and came out with a S-plus car. We came out with a McLaren P1 actually, but it does mean we go into this lockdown with access to S-Class, so not S-plus, S-Class. We're very close. We're at the bit before the summit, you know. We just got to get that last little bit done, and then we can go into lockdown with every single car. Now, of course, last time, well, I say last time, more like episode 1, we found this little Porsche Panamera Turbo, and it was gorgeous, great little find. It's a Jack's car, we don't own it, but one thing you can do with Jack cars, which I found quite funny, is you can customize them still in any way you want. So I thought, you know what? Little showcase of a thing you can do in this. You know, you might want to get creative with some different builds that aren't necessarily yours. There are some unique jacked cars around that you can grab for temporary use. I decided to modify it and bring it all the way up to the top of S-Class. So it's pretty much the best I can get to it without breaking the bank completely, although my financial situation in this game is pretty good, because if you're smart, you can make an awful lot of money, especially if you complete the career mode and just sell off a load of cars. Now, if we get through this lockdown, we can start using S-Plus cars at any point, which is going to make our lives a hell of a lot easier. So I decided, right, you know what? Let's focus on just getting through this and seeing what we can find. So early on, you know the score, my plan is to get some money. And I decided to skip the race and focus on trying to pick up a bike, because a bike, we can leave lockdown with it, but also it will, of course, get through the little gaps in the lockups. Now, of course, I already find one, but of course the gates are completely locked, including the bike gates. And even then, we don't have enough money. We've only got 17k. So I'm like, okay, I'll take mental note of that lockup, because that's probably going to be a really good one to get, especially with a McLaren P1 GTR. That's a good car to get. Of course, we got the standard P1 last time. The P1 GTR is like a full race spec version, you know. It's basically the car if it had 2 Monster Energies, some creatine, and some testosterone boosters as well. That's pretty much what a P1 GTR is compared to a P1. So it's got a lot more downforce and a little bit quicker. Now, as I'm driving around, I noticed this little Integra, and I was just genuinely being nosy. And then this guy starts looking around at me, Mr. Dark Matter 1999. He's interested, you know. He's looking at me, and I'm like, okay, I don't really want to hang around with you. He's got an S-Plus BMW M3 GTR, the main car from Need for Speed Most Wanted that you can get in the lockdown. And this isn't the car from the career mode in Unbound. It is, in fact, a very special version of the lockdown BMW. So, of course, it looks a bit worn, and it has a unique quarter panel where it has the old red paint job from the original beta version of the M3. So this guy's obviously done lockdown. So I'm like, okay, he knows what he's doing. Just gonna not get in his way, leave him be. You know, he is not a problem for me at all. And of course, a bike appeared as well, as we were talking about that. And annoyingly, I just missed it. And I thought, oh, can I try and take the bike? But unfortunately, no. Mr. Money Mike has secured that bike. And I was like, okay, well, you know what then? This is still an upgrade. I'm going to take your car. So, Money Mike, if you're watching, this is your P1 GTR. I'm now driving it. Thank you very much. Okay, it's a jacked ride. He gets it back after 24 hours, but it is actually an improvement off the Panamera. So it's amazing how quickly things can change. So I'm like, okay, you know what? He's going to head to a lockdown. I've got some options here. This car is not worth taking, not because it's a bad car by any stretch of the imagination, but the problem with this car is, of course, I won't be able to keep it anyway. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep an eye out. And the lockup from earlier with another P1 GTR that we can own was available. So I thought, okay, so he'll either take that P1 or he'll just loot the place and take the bike and carry on. So he gets himself in, and immediately I'm like, you know what? I want it. Why not? I might as well leave with a new car. And of course, Mr. Dark Matter 1999, he's looking at me as well. So I jump with the car. He's opened up the lockup, and I went, right, well, you know what? This is my car now. So just like last time, if we leave the lockdown with this car that we picked up from the lockup, this P1 GTR, boom, we end up with, this car in our lobby. Now, of course, I find this other guy, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to rough him up a bit. I don't want him to get that truck. And I thought, yeah, let's get a nice, easy exit. I was like, this will be an easy win. We've barely been in for 10 minutes. We're going to come out of a new car and then cue the outro music. Fantastic. I thought, okay, let's go and give that a go. So I'm like, right, let's just bail now while we've got this car. Is it the most exciting way of doing this? No. But it's also the smartest way. Now, of course, we managed to get to the truck, and we are absolutely surrounded by these level 5 cop cars. They are swarming. In fact, it feels a bit like the original OG Most Wanted. And as we're coming off the motorway, highway, the truck gets caught and it gets stuck. And I thought, this is dangerous. So I went, you know what? I don't want to get busted. I'm bailing. No one is going to save me. I'm in here on my own. So I thought, you know what? Let's just get some clear space. Let's just get out of there. Let's just put our foot down, get out of the lockdown zone, as you can see there. So we're back into a little bit of clearer air already. And I'm just thinking, right, let's just push on. Okay, let's just get some more money. And as I'm doing that, one of the guys from earlier, this is Dark Matter 1999, the guy in the BMW who was tracking me earlier, he was also in the lockup. I think he's following me. Now, he seems to be very keen because, of course, this car, if he was to take me out, he could, in theory, just take this car for himself. So he's quite keen on that, and it's like, okay, I'm not liking it. And as we progress through into the city, you can see on the map, he is right on my tail. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. I decide I got, low on health. I go through there, and there he is. He is charging at me, and I thought, I'm genuinely under attack here. I'm being hunted because this car is worth a lot of money. So I went, right, okay, you know what? If that's how you want to play, I've got good reactions and I'm not scared. I'm going to just, hold down that right trigger and get myself out of here. So I managed to lose him on the map, but, it's kind of clear where I've gone. So I come to the end before, the ocean begins. So I'm like, bugger, I could have used a bit more straight. And unfortunately, he is still chasing me at the moment. He is just hounding me, and I'm like actually sweating here. My hands are a bit like, what if he has pursuit breakers? What if he starts using an EMP on me, or he uses the ESF? I'm like, I do not want to deal with this, because then I will have to, if I get busted, no one's coming to save me and I'm out. So I thought, oh bugger, this is a real problem. So I'm just flooring it around the city, and then a truck appears. And of course, if we look on the map again, you can see he's still looking at me, but I think he's taking interest in the exfil truck as well. And I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to just go for it. I've got, a good amount of health. I've, repaired my car as much as I can. As long as I give myself a big enough lead, by the time I get to the truck, it should all be clear. So I am just gunning it here. I'm full out. No traffic, thankfully. Of course, the traffic does get switched off in the lockdown zones. So I'm just like absolutely flooring it. And we even escaped the police as well. So I'm like, okay, breathe. We don't need to worry. Now, I could have gone and got a bike. I could have looked at getting another car. But my thought was, this is a great car to get. And we will be able to go in with an S Plus car. Just get the hell out of lockdown. And this is when I love lockdown, because it does get intense, because people do want to fight you, they want to take your ride. If you have a car from a lockup, you are a target. It's literally a target on your back. And there we go. We escaped and survived. And I'll tell you what, of all of the lockdowns we've done, this one right here was the scariest. But you know what? Feels good getting away with it, doesn't it? And there we go. We got another car. Yeah, I know, second McLaren in a row. In fact, we've driven 3 McLarens in total, because we had the P1 last time. We drove Money Mike's car that we found earlier when he swapped for the bike, and then we managed to secure this. So there we go, guys. But we've ended up with an S Plus car, so we don't even need to buy a burner for the next episode. And there you have it. All rides are unlocked, homies. What a journey it has been. Remember when we started with that awful Camaro with 2 gears? A lot can change very quickly in lockdown, and it is a great way of getting some awesome cars. And it is just, oh, I love it. I love these DMZ type modes. I play them in Call of Duty, and I really love a car version of it. But if you've enjoyed today's video, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. And have a check of these videos as well. Might be something of interest there. Who knows?